Hello, nice to see you again. Finally got my voice back, most of it, a little bit scratchy, but today I just wanted to touch base with you again to see how you all are going and answer some questions that have been sent my way. And hopefully it won't take too long. I feel like a bit of a Q&A question time, but I just thought I just wanted to stay connected with you and hope that you're all doing really well, and I'm sending you lots of love. So let's get into this, and hopefully I won't bore you too much, and these are your questions, so it's your fault. So much for one video. One video's turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into 4. I just give up, I submit. So basically we're going to start with a question that somebody's asked is what usually sparks the idea for a new song? Do you find inspiration in everyday life, or do you have a specific source or something that you turn to get your spark? Well, I just draw from everything. Everyday life. Sometimes it's a conversation I overhear. Sometimes it's a feeling that catches me off guard, or even just observing people around me. But other people inspire me deeply as well. I get really inspired by people. And I find that there's something really powerful in connecting with somebody else's story. So I talk to a lot of people with my job, and often that creates emotion, and I just transform that into lyrics basically. So it's a mix, it's a mixture. I'm inspired by my surroundings, but also what I observe in others, and you know, the energy that people bring to the world. There's love all around. Do you have a go-to process when writing a song? Like, do I start with the lyrics or melody or something else entirely? Well, for me, it's almost 100% lyrics first. As I've talked to you before, I come from a background in poetry, and so words and phrasing are like the heart of everything. I really love building stories. I talk way too much. I write way too much. And I get my emotions through lyrics before I even think about how they'll sound musically, if that makes any sense. Because I just am writing, I really do have to have some self-control and peel back with my writing. And sometimes and often my words just come out as poems, and there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor that never ever get made into music because there's just way too many words. And so I kind of muck around with the words a little bit, and then I start thinking about melody and structure. But it's the lyrics that drive me. It's everything for me, because words, like I've said many times, have a way of resonating with people, and pardon me, and that gives its song its voice and its shape. You know, we can have some great music, but which is all cool to listen to, but if you're listening to a song, it can really take you back to a moment in time, or to a time of remembrance, or it just evokes that emotion. So it's all about the lyric for me. Describe a typical day of songwriting for you. How do I get into a creative flow? Well, I work, so sometimes my creative flow is out the window. I don't have any kind of routine or habit. I break all the rules. Although a typical day is really unpredictable for me. Either I'm totally in the zone or I'm all over the place. There's really an in-between, that in-between. It's a bit like I'm either hobo or Chanel. There's no in-between for me. And I often hit writer's block, and I've hit writer's block now. It's been really challenging for me. Pardon me. It's been really challenging for me. I'm working on a song right now called Blue Saddle, and I have rewritten it so many times. I've literally lost count, and I was almost going to can it, and but I don't give up that easily. I'm a bit of a keep going and keep going. It's just part of the process for me. It's that refining and that reworking, and sometimes I have to just start over. But if I've got a lyric in mind and I've got a story in mind, I'm a little bit persistent in making sure that I try and write it and complete it. And I try writing every day, even if it's just a few lines. It's my sanctuary. It's my go-to. No matter what kind of day I'm having, I feel really better when I've managed just to scribble something down, even if it's jibber jabber. Okay, how would you define your songwriting style, and are there any signature sounds or instruments that make my music unique? Well, I am unique. I'm one big unique mashed potato. I'd say my style is a bit quirky, although I do restrain myself and hold back when I write my songs, because like I said, some of them might be a little bit too confronting for people. I'm really stuck in that old-fashioned era of eclectic, alternative, progressive 70s. Maybe I'm a little bit misunderstood, being such an introverted person, and I think that comes through sometimes in my writing. And I appreciate you not being judging and allow me to show my quirkiness that way. And I don't always go for traditional sounds. I'm really drawn to that, like I said to you, that alternative music. And I've always been really influenced by blues music, and especially artists and players that don't always get the spotlight, because everything's so modern these days, and people forget about legends like Muddy Waters or Albert Collins and Robert Johnson, and people who brought so much soul and that raw emotion that I really resonate with music and their music. And those influences make me want to write songs that feel real and grounded, and you know, that takes on their own distinct energy, and I think that's where I am. I'm a really old soul. I look old. I act old, even though I'm middle-aged. I love the music from way back when, and I'm really sort of stuck in that 70s, that really quirky, you know, Bowie, Led Zeppelin kind of era. And I love nothing more than sort of clashing time signatures or chord progressions and stuff like that. And not everybody gets to hear that, because I try and stay a little bit restrained. It's like holding back the tide sometimes, but I do my best. What advice would I give somebody just starting out in songwriting? Well, you know, it's going to be a cliche, but you have to be yourself. Somebody wise told me once to let people come to you. Let them come to you. And I found that a little bit confronting, not in a disrespectful way. It's just that I'm such a people pleaser and an empath, and I'm learning really slowly how to do that. However, like I said, I do like to please people, so I can be easily influenced if I'm treated kindly. I'm a bit of a pushover, so be nice to me and you pretty much get what you want. What else would I say? I'd say right often and freely. Feel free to be your organic, authentic self. Try and aim to write a little bit every day, even if it's just one line. I mean, I just scribble sometimes, and just let your own ideas flow without your own judgment. And I think we are our own worst enemies. We judge ourselves so much all the time. And find inspiration everywhere. Everywhere I look around, you know, look at daily life and people and moments, and let things resonate and stop and just calm and just be. Because often when we talk to people, and in my job I do a lot of talking, and that's where I get a lot of my ideas from. Just from people talking and communicating, and although there's a lot of power in the sound of silence, so you know, bit of a contradiction there, but and also experiment with languages. Like, I use metaphors all the time, and in repetition and in great depth, because when you use metaphors, it makes you feel like you're actually having a conversation, and it's not just this directive and just spitting out words that don't resonate. So I do tend to use a lot of metaphors, which might be a bit annoying for people, but it makes me feel connected and as if somebody was singing that song to you or to me. It's all about that feel and that resonation. So I often rewrite and refine, and for me it's basically wash, rinse and repeat. Try not to fear revisiting or reworking things, because each draft that we do gets you closer to your song's true form. And I have so many pages and pages of scribbles and revisiting and rewriting, and it's just part of the journey, isn't it? And definitely for me, I have to channel that raw emotion. The song has to reflect genuine emotion, and that's what makes it feel relatable. And sometimes my songs can be quite confronting, and but that's just it. Sometimes we call it in my industry, it's called a reality slap, where you have to be really genuine and be emotive sometimes to get your point across, but still keep that little bit of mystery, because I do mine through my songwriting, and explore different sounds, like we talked about before, like unusual sounds and tones that can give your work, or my work in this case, a unique edge. And like I said, I really like these clashing chords and pentatonic scales and really weird time signatures and Dorian things, and you know, I don't hesitate mixing weird instruments, you know, with Ableton or whatever program I'm using, or whether I'm in a live studio. You know, I'll stick a bagpipe with a cello and with a with a pipe organ and a guitar and a banjo. So don't be scared to mix things up and give your work that little bit of unique edge, and that's what makes us all different. I mean, I know right now indie's really big and really popular, and that sort of Teddy Swims and Taylor Swift and all that sort of bluesy, earthy stuff, but you know, they've been around for decades, and some, you know, some of these songwriters and artists have influenced me and shaped my approach to songwriting. And like I was just touching on about, you know, how blues and that's sort of really big right now in indie, but you know, people like Woody Guthrie and who was known for these like really folk anthems, is somebody who I really idolized. Excuse me. And Hank Williams, everybody knows him, he's just like a country, you know, music pioneer. And Chuck Berry and Bob Dylan, especially Bob Dylan, you know, is often he's been considered as one of the greatest songwriters, and he's been really poetic and politically charged with his lyrics, and I think that started to reshape rock and folk, and I resonate a lot with him because he has a lot of words, and you know, things don't always rhyme, or you know, they're really eclectic. You either like him or you don't, and I really find him fascinatingly, eclectically challenging, and I really like that, because if I'm challenged up here, you have my attention, and he does that for me. And of course, you've got the Beatles, and you've got Lennon and McCartney and people like that, and they've got these constant catchy melodies, and they're just irreplaceable. Smokey Robinson, Joni Mitchell, Stevie Wonder, Carole King. I mean, these guys have been around for years, and these are the legends that sort of that influence me in my songwriting, because they basically brought sociably conscious and highly melodic songwriting to mainstream soul and R&B, and it's just something that I think modern music feel that they have it, and yeah, they do, they're great. But me being an old soul, I go back to where the basics, back to, you know, I went back to the roaring 20s, but 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, that's where it all started, you know, with Bowie and Led Zeppelin and all those people. And you know that I just love the piano, and like I've mentioned, I really love blues guitarists, and one of my favorite, and some of you may have heard of him or not, he's actually a Swedish guitarist, and his name's Yngwie Malmsteen, and I'll say it again, it's Yngwie Malmsteen. I just love saying it. It's like saying Lord Farquhar, and he's really known for his sort of virtuosic neoclassical style, and it's essential to understanding the roots and the evolution of blues and the guitar-driven music. And if you haven't heard him, check him out. I mean, he's full on manic, crazy. Just have a listen, and you'll know what I mean. When do I know when one of my songs is truly finished? Is there a point when it clicks with me? For me, a song is really truly finished when it makes my heart skip a beat. And it doesn't matter whether it's pop or a ballad or a folk or Celtic or a punk or funk, R&B, EDM, anything. It doesn't matter. There has to be a moment in that where everything clicks and it moves me. And when the melody and the lyrics and the emotion all align, I feel that it's actually captured everything that I wanted to express. So it's that moment of connection where I know when it's ready to stand on its own. And I'm a very visual person, very animated. If you haven't haven't worked that out already. And often if I'm in the studio, or even when I'm at home on my own doing stuff on the computer or using my tools, I pull these faces. I'm like, if it's a nut, it's a nut. And when it's right, and when the song's aligned, and when it sits right with me, which is what the question was, when it's truly finished, I just nod and I just go, that's it. If I was a judge on Idol or anything like that, or any of these talent shows, I'd be just a or So it has to just stand on its own. So thank you so much for your questions and joining me in Q&A. I'll have to start some TV program, questions and answers with Rosey, on a Tuesday night. I just wanted to get to you and make sure that you had these questions answered, and I know that some of them kind of are pretty deep, and but that's all part of the journey, right? Journeys aren't meant to be easy, and they're meant to be sharing, and I'm sharing little pieces, a little bit more of me, of my songwriting process, bit by bit. And although I'm happy to let you in, there's still a mysterious part of me which is under lock and key, and it's tucked away. But I'm really happy to answer your questions, and I feel incredibly blessed to have you all in my life, and have you on this path with me, and not walk the path, but thanks for listening to it. I'm glad you are enjoying it. A bit of a segue, but having you on this path and embracing all the genres and all these quirks that I have and that I throw your way, and that you take on board without judgment. And it truly, truly means the world to me. So wherever you are in the world, I say the same thing all the time. I hope you are calm. I hope you are at peace. I hope you're surrounded by love. And if you're not love, here's a beautiful warm hug from me to you, from Rosey to you. And know that I'm always going to be connected with you, no matter how long or how short. And I'm sending you all my peace and love, and stay safe. Warmly yours.